On Friday, Has any Hoho United will be into me and Twatna. Saturday games me in the bass. Become Chelsea. In 15 years, Kotoko have not won a game at the Golden City Park against Chelsea. So Mokochi Chelsea, Eshen by a goal to nil. Saturday, Krona Bibiani Gold Stars, League champions, Omo SRT, Omo title defense, no, with a 2-1 win over Bechem United. Na games of course on Sunday no. Heart of Lions, Echi Dreams FC, Esha na Bakwa went me anti. Basket Holy Stars, Etnefi, only 11 wonders, Obia into me and Twatna. Vision FC, Ensone Samatex, Obia into me and Twatna. Young Apostles, Etnefi, Emma Medeama, Echo Shena by 2-0. Medeama Fui, Pepe, Seraph. Steve Obia ka omo wasem ampa omo kwa will omo kwachi Young Apostles ebo omo by 2-0. Karela etna fie echi aduana proud to the game na achoba aristika aka say referees eye fair aduana beji league no omo first game Karela chi omo by a goal to nil and Nations at Abrankesi at a point na a game na ye draw Omoche Swedru All Blacks Esho Omo by 2-1. Into week 1, say and the koye. Table no Medeama and Abedasro. Omukwa we kunya 2 goals. Into Omukita 3 points. Ghost Stars second 3 points. Nations third 3 points. Asante Kotoko fourth 3 points. Heart of Lions fifth 3 points. Karela sixth 3 points. Hatche Folk seventh 1 point. Samatex eighth 1 point. 9th, 11 Wonders, 1 point. Vision FC, 10th, 1 point. 11th, Holy Stars, 1 point. Hoho United, 12th, 1 point. Bechem United, at the 13th, Omuni point Bia. 14th, Swedru All Blacks, Omuni point. Adriana Stars, the 15th, only point. Bekum Chelsea, 16th, only point. Dreams, 17th, only point. Nafi Young Apostles, and so Echatwa, Omunsu, any point Bia. We, week 1. Games are a course so Ghana Premier League no. Now after the game, Anna Asante Kotoko head coach Karim Zitu kase game no dey. Na omu deserve we say omu winning. Esan so omu create chances when the game was fair to them. Today so omu winning game.
I'm very happy that we've won because in a competition like this, you only have to win to gain more points. Aside that, there was a historical issue out Kotoko and this felt that for 50 years, Kotoko not win a game here and we are able to break that game. I said it before the game that there's always one day out of everything to change your life. So at the end of the day, after a hard fought football, I've done justice to Kotoko because when you look at the way we created a lot of chances, assuming we ended this game goalless, I don't think it's fair. So I'm very happy for my boys, and it also ginger and start the next week confederation game we are going to play in Accra. Every Kotoko game is a hard fought game because the coach said it. He said the only mistake he did was Kotoko beating him during the FA semi-finals. So it tells you that he meant what. So tactically, it's not a bad coach. So definitely, and then again, aside everything, there's no mini match for Asante Kotoko. Every match, look at the way people came to the field. Do you think the next game they will get people like this? No, it's Asante Kotoko. So the moment you beat Asante Kotoko, the moment you play well against Asante Kotoko, you also had your own game. So this is what I told my boys when you were in your various clubs. Going to play Kotoko, you double up your effort. So the same thing will be done to you now that you are in Kotoko. So we have to work extra hard to be able to face them with the energy we wanted, or else Alhamdulillah will fail.
Asante Kotoko head coach Karim Zitu after the game no say, baby or person the team no do no cry no. Omunru ho afe no masterte nemum ohia se supporters no better boys nechi papa.
Mind we are going to Africa, so definitely we have uplift our training. Our energy level should be higher than those of the match we play here. So it's like everything we do, we look at Africa before anything else. So I think the boys should know what is in Africa, and when they go to Africa and they perform, it will be their own credit. So I think the energy we put in here, we started, it's not by fluke. We work seriously at our training grounds. And then still, I will not say that we've reached there. We are still working to reach there, but we've not yet reached there. So what you saw is a little bit of what we are trying to do so that because we set the target of winning the league. Kotoko doesn't need anything apart from winning the league. So if the target is to win the league, you have to work extra hard. So you see that we worked extra hard too before coming down here.
Wei Asante Kotoko head coach Karim Zito and coach Chelsea Eshan by go to Neil a 15-year record owura no ko break year 97 year Frimpong Manson any defend league no na or the negotiators echi Bechem United shomo by 2-1 na Frimpong after the game then the near was the boys no abobo ye no match say ombeye bibi.
Well, it was a difficult game, and that is how it is. Normally, opening games, we could see every team is fresh. Players are very fresh. So yes, like we saw in Accra, it was difficult, like ours, and that's how it's going to be. So for me, it looks normal. Yes, it was a difficult game. Devoid of injury, you cannot talk about any player or entire team relax. No, they all have energy. Then we want to use it. So it looks normal. Yeah, some players do adapt quickly, and there are others who takes time to adapt. So yes, we are still working on the adaptation, and for me, so far, it's not been bad.
Yes, we Frimpong Manson or no any coach or the Ghost Stars Edgy League na was a chance, and all this answer we to after the game. Na Hatche Folk head coach Didi Dramani HMA was away a first game in the league. Now still as a preseason na no muremwa o mu pi kakaka nti fans no enya botre
I think that everybody has his own perception about the expectation. I think that we are on the right path. We'll continue to have a clear identity, and then we have a clear direction. The direction is to build a comprehensive squad so that we can be more sustainable. There will be injuries, there will be accumulation of cards, players will run out of form, but we're preparing a very comprehensive team. So this is just, it's early days yet, and this is just the first game, and more importantly, we are still in the preseason. This is early season, that we are still in preseason. We cannot hit our mark just from the first game, second game, third game. You build your capability and capacity of the team once the matches enroll, and I think that you know how difficult it is. Sometimes you sound more historian in terms of speaking about what had happened previous years of the club's first games. I don't go in that direction. I just think that if we do things rightly, you need to get what matters. And if you had done the last parts correctly, if you had been just be patient, a little more patient in that cutting edge, we could still have opened them up, because there were so many spaces that we could still make use of. I think so many things went well, especially the energy, the effort, and then the performance. We only didn't have the last part of it, which is the results. And sometimes the results you don't control, but things that we can control. I think greater part of the match we controlled. We controlled so many spaces, and then we needed the last edge where we can strike the opponent and then be able to open the opponents up. But I think that you have to give credit to the opponent also, having come with a very clear, and sometimes the game could have gone either way, because playing against a very low block can leave spaces behind you, and if you are not very, very organized, and you consider a lot of transitions, the game can go against you. But I think that there are so many positives that we saw in the game, and then we will take that one as our higher points, and then we need to be more patient, and then to be able to play the final pass. For me, I'm not so worried about these aspects. It gives us the tendencies of what we are going to expect in the league. Teams will come with a low block because they know you dominate play. We will learn around it, and then we will improve on being more patient. You saw me insisting on them that they should just play. No matter how, even if the opponent is controlling the spaces, just play. One moment you have the best one moment being your best moment, and then it opens up.
Yes, and did you Dramani and after the game, or him say, but moon so catching the boys and some more now. What a moment time, Oguso, or she say, Pepe, week 1 games Nina baby, come on. Maminti will comment games Nankasa, how games were controlled, how away teams were welcomed, and said it be Biakoye. At the same.
I'm just playing me that say Obia Ope Ghana Premier League highlights no Oba Akuma 87.9 FM. All the games. You not chance Monday near discuss local stories, but just stay here because games in yes. Mousa Kabiru Eddie Kan Medeama game no.
Yeah.
Pando out of lines with the Ebeba Hatsifuk Kotoko say how many matches 9.
Yes.
Imube in Sunday. Highlights na ewa a obenya ahwe Kabiru unya nations as goes no nations the matches ni nyina in fact all the games
yes
highlights no ewa games ye ball
we are brankese game no
weekend nyina ho highlight as ye local discussion no na also ohwe unfortunately because we are doing radio yentimi enyi match no nkwa nka match no asema esa omo mutie radio no nkwa no eni nye ti mo hwe Facebook no obe enjoy edru ba bi e pese de match ni bi e analysis na ye yisu na achechim amwati ase
eni etumrike na bra akoma 87.9 FM on Facebook odi bra say the people kan wutie game no aba na wiye enti after match and post match discussion here now we enjoy highlights now all the games is and see kita exclusive rights in Brakoma 87.9 FM on Facebook. Pepe emre ni ye
abusu amedase enti yemura games na me yisu game we tikabi my we a for a journey ya we a club and the nations
Red Black
how nations a back ebe we need game no
wow.
Now, if nations had lost or drawn this game, and season a baby at their mom, supporters in the baby pay GDS coach Kasim Mengen and campaign for Yanakwai.
Wow. And
paying for Felisa Debbie, the coach did well. How they lost the season last season, Omanti League in last season, a Munina, no ma elusu yentinye coach no. But Omo Amaju says a second no. Sanka nations at the Lusu game we are not so one winner. The bank a casa number chassis abba.
Yanka.
Now a branch at the Kwaku Aswanzi Bafu Onyan ne player. Wabo a wow stars.
Wow.
Wabokin Faisa. On the leading lines at the ma All Blacks and scored the first goal at Abrankese.
Fantastic.
Or say first goal at Abrankese. I was mame more videos we Nana Victor as Juma Pa and Rapa any nations for one more camera for the idea Juma Pa. Of course, nations there's a Macasa Nanka as I got to submit a hand to Macaf. I approve you and come aboard or more prelims, at least prelims games, I'm sure this venue would have met the standards and give it to me. And when you look at the connection, me see a feel league, and you have a crossroad.
Wow.
So look at how cross on every this side, and one time connection now on the ball at the blind side of the goalkeeper. Nations were shocked. A Brom considers a go because there be.
Wow.
And Omo ball a new entrance, Swedro or Blacks. Nations are the Abrankese, even the Hearts folks and the Kotokos. I want to be going to you for so. Now, Yasha season, I said a first game of Obofie. Omo consider first goal.
Wow.
But are there Swedro or Blacks for ya? Many of them and they ought to change. And the penny right after scoring the goal, they sat back. First half, it allowed Kasim Mengo to introduce Andra Mengo. They almost all the attackers in Abai because team not unable to if he is Biabonte. And one day na pressure no a ba na edigo akobano and Momunya or opening Omunya the equalizer even the match winner no. How they were defending at this point in time. Kabiru Kochi near all their players of the penny kind.
Wow.
Yeah, no young guy.
Original the good box.
Obia one Etubenya, all the players of
Swedwell
Blacks are more in the penalty box a defender. Very, very, very difficult situation. Yeah. Obia wa heavy. Can we pause the video? It's about coach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Goalkeeper and count 10 boy. And I can one player pay. Or baby be defended. So omo ball low block, very low block.
First good in Indiana.
Yes, they were thinking, sir, omo division, FNF division, abani abese go. It was a difficult venue, so let's protect it. But it was too early. The goal came too early for them to play that strategy. Say, one more episode, more protect this goal. No, but low block, no. Market top man because Didi can low block as them, and we'll come there.
Yeah,
when they sat very deep, but still, Nations found the equalizer and went ahead to win the game. Even though they also adapted a system of Japan, you know, did very deep. But coach, you know, I say, now, Kasim Mingle, I determine say, we need this particular game because, or the attackers are, or the core game, almost all of them of Japan, ever gave them. Swedwell Oblast goalkeeper, no.
What was he thinking of?
This particular situation, I was.
Why did he come out?
Surprised and disappointed. Clearly, amateur goalkeeping at this level, you don't do this. So, what on put number one? Now, when I we are there at the top level, you don't expect. But when you say angle, we are now, almost cross now. Almost the chef first go Swansea.
Maybe I saw your Facebook page. You no, watch me follow the Pepe ye. Or yeah, one will say, well, that's a woman want the crow. Brakoma 87.9 FM on Facebook. Highlights of the week 1 Ghana Premier League. No, any you or why you just their analysis. Now, 87.9 FM on Facebook. Pepe.
So the goalkeeper sold the team. And my second good Navi Yemfia and Koso. Nations did very well. Omuini. Okay, say yeah, league no. Me catch us one team afi omo plan pass they win the league Nations account. Now interestingly brana game no I tight in observing. Na Nations Dr. Kwame Chei Divine Chei CEO General Manager and omunyina omuntimi ntrase o and omugina was observing me giri say All Blacks for be here goalkeeper.
Wow, what a goal.
The All Blacks team no Born be here goalkeeper.
Sir.
Yes. Observing. You see, the goalkeeper had a clear view, say ball neighbor, and he needed to but you want to analyze and see, and the goalkeeper was not far from the ball. Minimum be an fire went to be a minimum here goalkeeper. All Blacks for the financial team say they will need a goalkeeper. From minimum go about the son. Madam as or dodgy bono. It may be a madam for Kwazinkatia, Medeama for the ball free kick not dodging, but we didn't have shorter as what dodge a branch of the Kelly ball and your power. So look at it. And minim the 2 goals in a clear goalkeeping mistakes. Maybe if Abaso Nations for almost fighting and at the pressure not 2 almost one but I think the goalkeeper or the 2 goals in Japan. Yeah, if I'm a Medeama, I just for Johnny Ghana Premier League highlights. Every game played this weekend. Highlights it's young call Medeama a game no na
yes sir.
Medeama for our parkway so one more ebo modern pa game ne baso e wo doma because one munya NG when chi park na juma one munya nti omko bo game no e wo doma enti me fa say omienu you know be ebo away and
young apostles
Ghana Premier League observing because game nya omu game o it mean nya so be akọ stadium okra ko ebo it was a very difficult one but Medeama for she go be and me percent for baba go na Medeama she no observing baby a born nam ne said the approach take me say this season your league ni be a lot of improvement a lot of improvement about your league
okay
my happiness ne say at this production no mo no even games are TV so no now we need to get the videos.
Yes.
Am I live on TV? but that's what we production me video no and based on the so far ma hu ne there me happy with said ye nya matches ni nyina no doma kwa de omuji tumja ayo baba yara o
na fact as say he chippings go actually
yeah
who's the lines no crazy
omuji tumja
SHS
baba yara kra inti omuji tumja baba yara abusa panyi ye hwe nyina ne yesua de Kabiru that go again as an aba second goal no so goalkeepers no must improve see free kick na branch the boy no nya da bia na yebo free kick abusa obetima che no one say goalkeeper wa free kick no one no but I don't know how flexible now the back into play area where you could go for seven beko connect kick and answer baby obi anyina 80 or dive there on the angle na branch the boni but o save ball no the ba inside play men just and so do sabi no be flexible na tra obi a baby e bo no and so be parry ball na ko connect kick but the goalkeeper e bo modern a che ball no the beto play area. And that is where the rebound came from.
The defenders not reacting to him.
Yes, defenders not reacting to him. But I think the goalkeeper could have helped a lot. Baby or try. I was about them to hang on aircon.
Boy, I do.
Tines or twice my body play. And shank ya dear pa. Because play no free kick ni. A tines a keeper a save ball call.
Free kick alpha war so no
is SO.
My
Kotoko so a game no sa na later me say at the for no bright production any kakra because e di kan na Kotoko Jesse na no any Brekum Chelsea blue no now we say the difference the baby but me say later omo bright any man na clear kakra it was opinion this is Medeama also winning away
na dey anwia na go ajo
omo ye adwuma say how we kwa dey aba yi so we were in a perimeter oh we were in a perimeter
oh
we were in a perimeter oh my second goal na fe yenko so Medeama did very well winning the game away they did very well 2-0 keeping a clean sheet even though a game no oman ko ball when chidie but then we win and omakofa so they did very well go win up the penina me say obia e mama say their branch no or the ball free or no one go area or setting up this left-footed player and the shot, the precision, everything. Something that you need to applaud the player because maybe I'm working ball free by or Jane ball man with the left foot, which is not picking a spot that.
Wow.
Again, the goalkeeper, I don't know, say no, just shots than I say. That goalkeeper there. So Medeama scored 2 goals, did not concede, and a very good for Medeama say. Omonia start to Japan this season. Omonia bre Medeama mene rough and a Kotoko last year. And I'm going to CAF Champions League park.
Yeah.
Last year league Omani. Still that ambition is still there. And for Medeama, if they qualify for the CAF Champions League, a current Madame Moses Pakabutum, a go first takwa da mind for and Ebefa who can into Omodi qualify. And it was a wonderful display from Takwa based Medeama. Now young as I'm taking a game no. I'm Japan Kotoko
Chelsea 0 Kotoko 1
win na Kotoko nyai no very good for Kotoko but game na Chelsea boy and Samuel Bodu and his charges as one we are proud no more build it on from there last season no more terrible pa last season everybody na wie na Japan omo winning 1 in 5 games last season everybody na wie omo 1 win in their last 5 games
wow
omo tena fie ma league champions ko show mo 3-2 or Zabakaya.
Yeah,
enti ene omu wie no mo san ton team the players na Japan. Now I had den ede amom.
Yeah.
But then gradually Samobodu has put together a side that for me I think they can compete. Michelle I think they can compete with Japan.
Sir.
Yes, and a very good Edema Chelsea for say omo game no say yes players na bia Kotoko nti and omo ball above themselves no say normally ya na players na ball 80 are the top teams na abia omo ball trade omo ball no say yes apa na yes omo modem on better than this season ya I'm not sure Samobodu a lot to worry about because if they put this performance no come elusu ofie away they are very some points be free aba if they put that same performance at home versus other teams of Japan omo di terminate ni nu Kotoko dia omo ebeje 3 points now yan hwe ade bi e wa ha Kabiru action ye twa mu sisi fama me na yɛnyɛ adwuma ɛwɔ ha eti abusuapanyi saa bɔɔl wei Emmanuel Ntwi ɛbɔ short bi a ɛtiɛfoɔ ntwa ne yɛ wɔ akoma 87.9 ɛno nso saa ma mi hu sɛ goalkeeper Emmanuel Adu no ɔnyɛ inferior to Gregory Obenseche no molusu no. Emmanuel Adu is not inferior to Gregory Obenseche. If you look at this particular saver or yeah from Emmanuel Ntwi now, at here for a journey, born na all born. Emmanuel Ntwi a ball no we be na ya against the round of play. And your baller a bad goalkeeper ni that's why what picking a spot a train ball. A baller a challenge and a titom and a Emmanuel Ntwi a ball straight shot. Not keep an appear kakra. Entry peja ball no penny. And opeja ball no. A baller it will take goalkeepers are reflex is just very sharp. Yes. So Kabiru Yanko. And Emmanuel Adu was able to save this situation. Emmanuel Obobono. It was something that you want to praise the goalkeeper because and your ball Imade ban in that so omo play an save ball na titom. And a quickly entry ball. Sa drive no. And a keep an AE ball. Right after that, me person me two brekum Chelsea player back for Tibanan twas me who say incisive pass bi da bi nye goal no. Pass bi koya amo omko twa na hwe for more. Say oh sa play na e ma keep an far ball me boy. Omo very careful kwa away. Na be penyo koyi say ya. And okay Saturday na Rafa ka say referee no na Kotoko for enye nkomo win game na complaints baba
because they won.
Yes.
No more we need one can referee sisi obo.
There was a player omo ball no etum. Emma amo running onto the ball. Now I think he was even fouled. Now referee has actually fouled the Kotoko because he was in a penalty box. Maybe I just watch penalty the Kotoko. Oh, Kabiru Eba says here you have missed that. We are our opportunity of the penny. So man sequence remember China and corner yemfa and Shadi say this is it of the penny. So the Kotoko player runs onto the ball, controls the ball, was a player no still with the ball. Now ref now boys.
Why?
Very shocking because Chelsea player no call down. Chelsea player no very careful because home enti na bia ref na we dia menya sure say ref ebu na ni gu and na infa Kotoko player ni ntwa no. Look at the sequence very well. I'm on a crab ball. And Chelsea player lose ball no ha na wato form. Hwedi pa. Jaboni pa. Enu ani. And a referee J foul. Next time, or very careful when you are defending in this situation. Time on be share. Philip Amoni na so clear ball no draw. And also also come the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But referee is saving. Finally, na Rafa ba. Kotoko game na open highlights na sha. Abuzapanyi na no me catch us na Hubejau anim ehwe Kotoko go area.
Yeah.
Video ni use na po bi asi ani we de po bi ansi ani.
Okay.
So Kabiru ebema yen action yi pa but brekum Chelsea defender na Abuzapanyi a horrible mistake. Ball no free throw but
control.
Kabiru my time. This is the ball in the air. At this point in time he had the opportunity to go for back pass.
Okay.
To play away 1 2 and then so a sharp over to the left hand pass play away.
Yeah.
And also a long pass akoma goalkeeper.
The goalkeeper.
So a terrible error.
He wanted to control the ball.
Fine. Because ordinarily Ghanaian players lazy they won't press you. But say they will be pressing ball we na all man pressure no. At that point in time on watch the way opa obeko for throw. Who plays me what your goalkeeper no.
There was a method that here the goalkeeper.
It is better to save the situation because Nanka when your goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah.
But the vision of Ubejao turned this into a goal. And at this point in time, still on the LED ball no. Or control na anye still not on the LED ball. Kabiru yanko yeni. Abuza penyana Ubejao aye cross. My time all bobo no diama abetamu ano. This is where it's difficult to even imagine that because born free throw but no social surubi. So minimum time of sporting Abetamu run. And who say Abet is not in an offside position.
Yes.
And Bona play him offside because born free throw but me na na hwesoro. Kabiru Kochi. Brekum Chelsea play na hwesoro no. Na
so no so chase for the ball. You mu nyina no mu hwe.
At this point no onkura ball no waka say ball na be di no nti. No what the advantage to check maybe the players ni gina he's chasing the ball or hustle and we didn't and we need ball here no he had his back towards when he strike and all and then the mum say but I think that his instincts were
look at the pass
on share better more
fantastic
and Albert also timed his run perfectly. Albert, some players will just run into offside position or timing a run. No, it's born or kick ball and nothing Albert Amoa. And so I take you off of the benny or far born at the echo to them. 2 changes. I said the Kubo coach voice no cano. Say or the by when he needed them, they turned the game for him. Walid any Ubejo. The next question is so are they going to be starters in the next game? And I said still a big coach plans on better. I think that Ralph Ayisu phrase be on Saturday and I want to borrow it. Every kind of player be Kotoko pay in every situation be ano. So 15 players no motoy no. O munya bi. Unim na no Raf na me ye report or Adakojachi. After any coach edi nkomo no. In fact before I no beba na me ye me report. Na me say Kotoko ato between 50 and 16 players. Coach no it's not 16. It's not 16. I had to cut the report and do it again. And as Steve Okaja said, he said about. I said, no. Why do you say about? It's 14 and I said, I'm the coach. And you're 14, 15. Now me can't say 15. More and also 14. But more say 15 because Lord Listo Hene, a couple team no. Or say, I was working. Now I'm saying, I make us about. Me because I between 15 and 16. Or say no, I'm in 16. Okay, but the best one go for you to 16. And on use you 14. I'm saying coach also manga 14. 15 players. 15 on top of the penny. I say omo bi ko team ya blow ball 4 no. Zakaria Fuseni Mobile. Zakaria Mobi.
Wow.
And the right backs me know I'm sure my available no. Kote nyamai but omo Shaibu ane Lordamwa. Left back omo 3. Francis Aqua, any Patrick Esiedu, and Joseph Amoa. Oko Medewa, Samote do Mobi. A year pra Omo campaign in middle last season. Intimanu, a pra cry and fanning gown. Baba a year pra on gown. Baba a year pro. Kotoko in terms of creative midfielders, Walido, Philip Amo, Emmanuel Chibet Mabo. In terms of number 8 for or Boko you said, yes. Who be free bench by some hotel do the bench. And
wow.
Go to the attackers. Ebra Morfin Bermuno. Clearly, Morfin and even the goal scorer, they would have to work on their finishing. But more options, or more mobile, or more one static striker in Kwampoku. But they have Morfin, who is a mobile striker. They have Abetamo mobile movie everywhere. I will pitch so. I think that because we team I agree with Ralph said. Ingredient be a pay players be no. What's your squad as a mood in Abbey? AJ, said, Coach, ebe you show now what me or you should phrase was say gelling without winning, any winning without gelling. Which one do you like? Obusans and John for say winning without gelling, any gelling without winning. They ain't essential for the pair. I know, say, Coach, I'm team no at the moment.
Seraph me. Okay, AJ, Ralph, you share games about so where your first week. Mami too.
Heart of Lions are winning against Dreams. In fact, what was our highlights? No. Okay. But whole pictures in here.
Cat.com. Say, yeah, near community tickets in the so. Now you would lucky.